All right, guys, today we're going to go ahead and discuss the basics of circles. So the standard form for the equation of a circle with the center at hk and radius r is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to r squared. And I have this pretty interesting question of what do you see is different about the definition, meaning my center being h and k and my radius being r, compared to what I have written here. Good. Okay, so the idea I'm trying to get, and the part that for some reason is so hard to grasp, when I write the center, I use opposite signs. So I'll write x minus if it's a positive, or x plus if it's a negative. I'll end up flipping it. And then when I see my radius, it's actually my radius squared. So if I have my radius as 4, it better be 16. Or if I see 4, it's actually 2. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and write a generic one. Remember, my equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So it asked me to write the equation of a circle with a center of -4, 3 and radius 4. So I have x plus 4, because I'm doing the opposite sign, quantity squared, plus y minus 3, again opposite sign, is equal to 16 because I have to take him and square it. Next one, x minus 5 squared plus y plus 2 squared. Ooh, that's a really good plus sign or addition symbol, is equal to 64. Next one, I have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 9. Now here's my good big giant question here. Y minus 0. What is y minus 0? What's anything minus 0? Well, it's just itself. So I could simplify this problem as saying y squared in parentheses. But then because I have nothing else going on minus the squared, no matter what my y value is, I could just drop it. So my final answer for this problem is this last line. And you're probably saying, but I can just leave it at that because then I don't forget it's at 0. But guess what, guys? They're not going to give it to you that way in the textbook. They're going to give it to you in the most simplified form. And you need to recognize that if it's just by itself, like it is here, your center, one of your center coordinates is 0. What if it was an x squared? Well, then your x coordinate is 0. You need to be able to start recognizing when things that are plus or minus 0 aren't there. Your answer is 0. All right, next one, we have x minus 4 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 49. All right, a translation. We saw this word back in Math A when we dealt with our triangles and moving them around in our different shapes. I think we did some squares and a couple kites. Translation is a sliding or moving a shape without flipping it or rotating it. So we're going to take the basic equation of x squared plus y squared equals 9, and we're going to move him 4 units left and 3 units up. So 4 units to the left. Well, left and right horizontal shifts deal with my x. So he's going to be an x term. Up or down, that's going to deal with y. So 4 units to the left. Well, let's think. If I go to the left, am I getting more positive or am I getting more negative? Good, I'm getting more negative. So in my head, I'm going to think this guy. Now 3 units up. Okay, in my head, I'm going to think this guy. But when I go to rewrite my new equation, I have to flip my sign. So I have x plus 4 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 9. And yes, I almost drew a 0. Do more. So again, we're going to identify what goes with which piece. So I see, what did I do? Purple last time? Yeah, purple. I see left and I see down. So left is my x term. Down is my y term. Left, again, I see minus 5 because going to the left, I'm getting more negative. So I'm subtracting. Going down, I'm also getting more negative. But when I go to rewrite the new equation, I have to flip my signs. All right, you try these next two because I believe this should be my last two. And then we'll come back together. Okay, 4 units to the right going positive, but I need to flip it and go negative. Up going positive, flip it, make it negative. All right, 5 units right, we're going to go to the right, but we have to flip that sign, so it needs to be negative. 6 down, down typically is negative, but we need to flip it so it's positive. All right, there's your homework in the textbook.